Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will share with you everything you need to know about Adobe Illustrator in just 10 minutes. What is Adobe Illustrator? Illustrator is a vector drawing software which, despite the name, is primarily used for graphic designing. What is vector? And vector is an image that can be scaled to infinity without losing quality. It's opposite to bitmap image like a photo, which is made out of pixels and has a set of resolutions. But don't worry, you can still use bitmap images inside Illustrator. When you first open Illustrator, you'll be seeing a home screen. There are a few presets to choose from, a list of recently opened files, and what's most important is the New File button. Upon clicking it, a menu will pop up with some settings you can customize for your new file, like size, measurement unit, how many artboards you want, and some advanced options like color mode. A quick tip: use RGB for anything that's digital and CMYK for anything that'll be printed. Just setting everything up and clicking the Create button, you'll reach the most important part of the program, which is the workspace. In the workspace, everything you see in the screen right now can be customized and moved around every tool, menu, and panel. There are also different workspace presets for different workflows, which you can access on the top right corner of Illustrator. For now, let's start the Essential Classic preset just so we're both on the same page. I think this preset is very good for starters. Workspace in Illustrator can be separated in different parts, and knowing them will help you understand the software. At the top we have header. Here you'll find all the menus. A lot of things can be done in Illustrator in several different ways, but you can find what you're looking for in the menus. Down below we have the control bar. It is one of the most helpful elements of the workspace because it is the context-based, meaning its context will change depending on the object or the tool you have selected. Document tab. Each tab is a different file you have opened. Left side we have the toolbar, which contains all the tools in Illustrator. If a tool has a small arrow on the corner, you can click it and hold to open up similar tools. For example, clicking and holding on rectangular tool opens a menu containing similar tools like ellipse tool and the polygon tool. If you hover the mouse over the tool, Illustrator will show the tool name and its shortcut and a small video explaining what the tool does. Right side we have the panels. Illustrator has several different panels and they're all used to perform different actions, like aligning objects, customizing gradients, and combining shapes. They can all be opened through the window menu and they are kind of a complement to the toolbar. Panels can be expanded or collapsed using the arrow symbol on the top right corner. Bottom of the workspace we have the status bar. It shows some information about zoom level, selected artboard, and selected tools. Finally, in the center of it, we have the artboard. This is where you'll add elements like shapes, text, images. White rectangle is the size you've selected when creating the document, and more than one artboard can be created for a multiple page file. Phew, that's a lot of information already. The tools. Don't worry, I'll give you time and you will get used to it. Now I'll show you the most important tools and panels to really get you started. That's the basis of graphic design and geometrical shape, and that's where we'll all start. Let's press letter M to select the rectangular tool. All the tools work more or less in the same way, so I'll just explain the rectangle. But remember, click and hold on rectangle tool to bring the menu with the other shapes. To create shapes in the artboard, you have two options. You can either click and drag the size proportion you want, or just click single time, which will bring menu where you can input the exact size you want. When clicking and dragging, you can hold the shift key to lock the proportion to a perfect square. This also works with the other shapes as well, to create perfect circles and polygons. Now that we have something in the artboard, we can talk about the tool you will use the most, and that is the selection tool. There are actually two selection tools, the selection tool and the direct selection tool. The selection tool shortcut is V and the direct selection tool shortcut is A, or a black cursor and white cursor. Selection tool black cursor is used to select, move, rotate, and scale the entire object in the artboard. Moving objects, just click and drag them. rotating, place the cursor close to the corner until it turns into this curved two-side arrow. For scaling, use these white squares around the bounding box of the object. If you hold Shift while scaling, you will also keep the proportions. It's a bonus tip. Hold the Alt option while dragging the object to duplicate it. Now for the direct selection tool, white cursor, we have to first take a look on how shape works in Illustrator. Any shape in artboard is made up of points that we all call anchors. Two anchors connected make a path, and when the path is curved like a circle, the anchor points will also have handles too, to control the curvature. These are the three elements: anchors, paths, and handles can only be manipulated individually using the direct selection tool. Let's draw a circle in the artboard. Press the letter L to select the ellipse tool, then click and drag to draw a circle. Now press the letter A to select the direct selection tool and hover the mouse around on the top part of the circle until the anchor name pops up. Then click and drag to move only the anchor point. Alright, you might have noticed that the handles are also showing now. You can click and drag them to change the curvature of the path. You can also click and drag on the path to move it, but it can be a little tricky. But what if you want to draw something more complex than just a geometrical shape? Well, then you'll use a pen tool. With the pen tool, shortcut P, each time you click on the artboard, you create an anchor, which will be connected to the previous one just like this. This tool can be a little bit challenging at first. It requires a little bit of practice to get used to it. But it's a super important part of Illustrator and you'll definitely use it a lot once you get a hang of it. Before we move on to panels, it's very important that you learn how to move around the artboard. Well, lucky for you, it's super easy to do now. Move around a lot in a lot of different ways, but my preferred method is either to hold the spacebar, then clicking and dragging, or click and drag by using a mouse wheel. For zooming, you can hold the Alt key or options if you're on Mac, then scroll with the mouse wheel. Now let's see a few panels. The one you'll definitely use the most is the color panel, already open by default. Now that's better. Oh, and of course, some panels do not display by default. All the options are given in the menu, top right corner of the panel, and click Show option. Color panel is used to change the color of the shapes you create, both the fill color and the outline color, which you can switch by clicking on these two icons right here. Now that's better. Then all you have to do is select the object and change the color as you like. Next panel is one that I use all the time, the Align panel. It's not open by default, so let's open it in the Windows menu. Align panel automatically opens the Pathfinder and the Transform panels as well. They are kind of a group. Let's drag this panel to the right side and dock it on the panel bar. Align panel is pretty straightforward. Select the option you want to align and select the desired alignment like center, left, or right. By default, when you select only one object, it will align to the artboard. But if you have two objects selected, the panel will automatically switch to align to the selection. Next is the Pathfinder. This panel is used to create new shapes by combining two or more shapes. You can unite two shapes into one, intersect the parts that are overlapping, or just divide everything into different shapes. It's really easy and really useful. And finally, the Property panel. This right here can be your best friend if you get used to it. Just like the control bar, the Properties panel is context-based, meaning its context changes depending on what you have selected. In fact, the Properties panel is kinda like an extension of the control bar in a way that it is the only panel that I have expanded at all times, and it's truly a lifesaver. It can speed your workflow in so many different ways. Well, congratulations, you just learned the basics of Illustrator, but your journey is just starting. Forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon, and if you have any doubts, just give me a shout out on the comment section and I'll make sure to answer you. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. See you in the next video.